E7. Oh, Oliver Adams in here. All right.
Full squad is enabled.
They're not in right order, but they're all here. What the fuck? How'd you make that toy make that noise?
I think it's funny Twitch gives me a notification if I'm watching the live stream
Oh, nice.
that you guys went live when I'm watching it live, you know? I could do something about that.
Dark wind. Oh my god. That noise is just terrible. Can you hear that? Is that getting picked up?
I can't hear it at all.
Oh, so the toy is like normally just like a Oh. Here, this is the normal sound.
Yeah.
She's somehow making it like and I just I have no idea where that's coming from. Oh. There's too much fun happening in my house right now.
You need me to post the APL chat or you got it?
I'm literally doing it, so.
Fuck.
Why are there so many Umbra teams?
Umbra.
So, this is E7 Umbra Crimson. There's E7 Umbra Gilded, and then there's an unrelated nameless Umbra. Also in this league.
I hope
Apparently-
nobody gets mad at me if I just call them E7 Crimson.
The word of the week is Umbra. Blue side makes links. Oof. Calling us out. Oh, I didn't actually check to see if they had the same logo as the other E7 team. Oh, we're using Pro Draft? Get Cairo! Cairo's vetoed. Cairo's no longer captain. I'm sorry. Oh, they do have a different logo. Why? Is this a completely different org than the other E7 we just played?
I don't think it is.
Well, they don't have an E7 logo. They have a C with a sword through it. And also now one of the ugliest four-letter codes that I've ever seen. E7UC. Disgusting. Not to put them down. I shouldn't insult our opponents.
Reading draft.
My draft wall is broken.
Uh-oh.
I don't really understand what's going on. It's like the browser source just doesn't work. Because, like, I can definitely go to that, and it's visible.
Yeah.
But it's just not...
It's not, like, displaying underneath it or something?
Yeah.
Wonder if there's a bug in the software.
There we go. Okay, I fixed it.
Oh.
I don't know how I fixed it exactly, but... I told it to refresh the browser when the scene became active, and it did, and then it worked, kind of.
Very nice.
So, I guess we take those. What do you do with this logo? Huh. I have a lot of things to say about this logo.
I think, well, in Proving Grounds right now, let's see, AoE has they have two teams in it. They have their AoE normal team, and they have AoE Ginger Doom Rick. And it's like on a glass of orange juice, and it's very funny.
Some of the Proving Grounds teams are very fun. Like Taco Gaming's logo is pretty good.
Yep.
There's like a Cats team, I don't remember.
There's also the, is it like name pending or something? I can't remember. It's just a smiley face.
Yeah.
Like a colon parenthesis.
And then there's our boys team Fish Taco. What is this new overlay? I kind of support activity feed. I haven't customized this.
Do not know.
I don't really want to show it all the time, but that's apparently the default. What is Meowing Cat in this as well? Oh no, Meowing Cat was the support for the other E7 team. So confirmed same org.
Yep.
Even though they have completely different logos.
Well, sometimes you...
I also added an E7 team on Twitter. I don't know if it's the right one, but if E7 stands for Empyrean 7, and they do like a dragon theme, then I got them. If not, you know.
They have a lot of teams in a lot of leagues, so maybe they just wanted to add some panache on their
They
logos,
really wanted to add
you know?
some Umbra to it.
Umbra for sure. It's like the genus of what E7 team it is, you know. There's other Umbras, but this is the Crimson version. You know?
Well, is there a Penumbra as well, then? Is there... So, like, it means, like, the fully shaded inner region of something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's from an astronomy term, which is the dark central part of a sunspot. And then, like, the slightly brighter outside ring is the penumbra. And then the farther out you get, like, the corona and all that other, you know, terms and stuff. But
I mean, if there's not an Umbra, then... Or if there's Umbra, there must be
there must be a penumbra, because it has to get lighter, right? Yeah.
Right. So...
But the Masters League team that we played against was Divine. And then this is Umbra Crimson, so like you have like a dark circle and then a red inside that, I guess, or a red outside that. And then there's Umbra Gilded in the same league, so they'd be gold instead. I'm not sure I understand the naming conventions. I understand ours better, and ours don't make any fucking sense, you know? We started with fiddle abilities, and then we went to just fiddle adjacent things.
like skids. I'm sad that surprise party never
You
fell through.
really want surprise. I'm sure it'll exist at some point.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm also very excited for Banditos to make their appearance. That one's gonna be a good one too. Wait, you're the captain of Bandito. I'm spoiling your team here. Ooh.
Wait, is that what we were going?
You're...
I didn't know Banditos was the
yeah, that's the
other
plat
team.
Yeah.
Ah, well, maybe we'll rename it.
Maybe you'll rename it. Back to the drawing board. What are the options here? What do we got?
I don't know. Well, Fear would be a good one, I think.
Fear. Gonna give it the
kind of generic, but
Rodham Morbin time.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, we're into draft for game number 1. Welcome. Week number 2 of the Aegis Protectors League. This is Rodham Darkwind taking on E7 Umbra Crimson. Here for we're going to call them E7. I think that's the shortest way to pronounce their acronym. I'm not calling them that. That's a name. I'm sorry. Anyway, new.
Maybe you need to start. I feel like that's how we got Rodham.
Oh,
because other people just started calling it Rodham.
Well, Rodham happened because you need a shorter way to say Return of the Middlesticks. You can't say that every single time. And ROTM is even like 4 syllables, so like Rodham's fine. I have no issue.
No,
with
I
that.
agree. I just think it's it's gotta start somewhere,
Yeah. Anyway, Soraka, Udyr, Yone, Talia, Echo, and one last ban here from E7 is Pike. All right, those are kind of interesting bans. I'm feeling it. Power picks. What are you feeling? Zeri, Senna.
There's a lot available. Seraphine, also good because it's good flex pick. There's a lot of good options on the table still here for blue side 1, and I think that also means that E7 should also get some good picks here. It is going to be the Seraphine locked in for RTM. On blue side, I really like getting a flex pick early in these first 3 picks because it really helps you out later in draft. It kind of buffers the blue side disadvantage of not being like having to blind pick at least one lane. You can sometimes roll that into an advantageous matchup, or
at least make sure it's not, getting hard slammed, and instead just lightly slammed, lightly seasoned. Volibear, kind of a similar idea though from E7. That's the power of the flex pick on the red side though. Is now you don't you countered the counter for the blue side. It's just gonna be flex picks all the way down. Samira's not a flex pick. Samira has been played a lot for as not good as I think the champion's considered overall. We've seen a lot of Samira games recently.
Yeah, I do think I think a lot of people are liking Samira right now, even though a lot of people have a lot of pros and people in the scene really think that it's a pick that's not in the meta right now. But I don't know. It's a champ that really has those big pop-off moments and can turn some things. You kind of think of it almost like Jinx, where it's maybe not the best pick early, but you scale a little bit, you get some you just happen to pick up a kill, and then you just get into a frenzy and start picking people off. Kind of the same idea with Samira ult. Completely different roles that they kind of fill, but you think about having those big pop-off moments, and definitely helps the champ feel a lot better.
All right, so Rodham picking some champions for sure. Shyvana, I think, is considered pretty good on this patch. No issues with the pick. It just, as a pick, doesn't bring a huge amount to your team composition. And then you pair that with an Ezreal, who also doesn't bring a whole lot to your team composition other than, a little bit of range DPS and poke. And then there's the Rakan. So it feels like E7 have a very clear idea just from their first 3 picks. They're going in. They're going to look for big AoE fights. They're going to look to scrap and fight. And Rodham, you got some disengage? You're looking to scale? You're looking to poke, I guess?
Yeah. It's definitely just looking to scale for the most part.
Yeah, Atrox, Baboris, if you will, and Mordekaiser gonna be banned now. Should be some more solo laners. Oh, we got Hybridoodles fans. Let's go. Making his debut for Darkwind this time, and we got some fans popping off in the chat. Always like to see that. Darius, we're
Love to
just
see that.
banning aggressive top lane picks.
Yeah. I think makes sense. RTM's not going to really want to play for much of their lanes. I mean, Shyvana is going to be one of those scaling junglers that's going to look to try to get as much farm as possible and hit level 6 as soon as possible. I expect it'll probably be like the tank fist build into Demonic, but
I'm a little surprised at Ornn. Again, without knowing any of these players' pool, just going in a little blind here, it feels weird to see like Mordekaiser, Darius, and Aatrox banned, and then the Ornn alongside that. Like that's just a weird one to be scared of. It fits well into their team comp. Don't get me wrong, but it's out
last
of here.
series I know they had a Darius and Kale in top lane, so we'll have to see. Interesting. So Zilean mid is what this is looking like. It could go top as well. I've seen some flexes to the top lane. That gives them some scaling option, gives them some speed ups for Rakan, Volibear to like dive in.
I saw a Wild Rift screenshot today. That looks wild, by the way. The mid lane was Rakan versus somebody else that doesn't like do damage or scale. It was very strange. But yeah, could be the Rakan mid. Not gonna rule that one out. The Ahri gonna be picked up for ROTM. A little bit more pick, and the set to round out the composition.
Yeah, set pretty safe blind, does pretty well into a lot of matchups, and considering Darius and Aatrox is off the table, it feels honestly pretty good to pick up here. And you've got a decent target already with the Volibear to be able to ult them back into their team. And with a lot of carries off the table, we'll have to see what E7 decides to go with. It's gonna be the Shen. Which, ooh, Garen.
All right.
The bait and switch at the last second there.
I was gonna say the Shen makes them super linear, right? Then all of your damage is Samira. If Samira pops off, you win the game. If Samira doesn't pop off, you lose the game. But now you have the opportunity to win a side lane and win it so hard that no one can go over there and be in your lane. That's basically all that Garen really offers. Garen is a champion in League of Legends for sure.
This is the game we call League of Legends. I agree.
Yeah, and he got the budget Yumi's speed ups with Zilean, so like has an opportunity to actually be a menace.
Yeah, and I think honestly for their comp, it's very nice to have another damage threat. Zilean will be able to do some damage, but Garen gives you slightly more DPS than the burst of the Zilean combos. So I like the pick there over the Shen that they were hovering.
Yeah, plus
but I think this is going to come down to if RTM can scale well enough with the Seraphine, Shyvana, and Ezreal.
Yeah, I was going to say, plus it... Never mind, I don't know what I was going to say. I'm sorry, it's been a long day.
No worries, no worries.
Something about Garen. I don't know. Oh, he's got a stronger lane matchup into set than the Shen does, or than the kind of generic top lane picks all kind of not great directly into the Shen, or into the set rather, which is probably why it was picked. But this pick a little bit stronger into it.
Yeah, for sure. It does kind of. I think it's a worse target than you would have had for set to ult.
Yeah.
But still a pretty beefy champion that's going to be building a lot of health, so you should get some good values out of your set ults, even with the Garen pick.
Well, second draft phase. This is week 2 again of Aegis. Both of these teams coming in at 0-1, so looking to get back on track and get into the win column. they released like a preview for week 2, and 7 out of the 8 pickers picked ROTM, so no pressure. Gotta try to bring it home for them this week.
Yeah, it did not look, at least based on match history, that the games for either team really went well. So I think both teams are looking to kind of rebound here in week 2 and put a win on the board.
Yeah, and I haven't watched the E7 game, don't have a whole lot to say about it, but the ROTM game just felt, kind of almost as expected. The players hadn't played together a whole lot. They looked a little disjointed, and there were like 2, 3, maybe 4 team fights in those 2 games where everybody on the enemy team had 100 to 200 health, and ROTM had nobody left alive. And it's just, if you get that, you get the coordination cleaned up a little bit, you get that extra 100 to 200 health focus, all of a sudden these games start tipping in your favor. But
yeah, that definitely comes with time, playing with people, and I think it'll help. It seems like our team's got a new starting juggler, so I think that'll help a lot. But yeah, both teams definitely looking to rebound here.
I like some of these names for E7. This will be a banger of a cast.
Whole green man.
Whole green man, hot NB.
It's really good.
I stand eternal. Not an edgelord, by the way.
Pick the Garen, so.
Yeah, I always wonder if those were names like that. Not to call these people out or anything, but like, if it was made when they were younger and edgy, or if it was like, they are younger currently. Like this could be a younger player.
Or
going
option
off
3, you just have it for the being ironic.
Yeah. I mean, always an option.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm gonna rant about this logo a little bit. So like, normally what you want is your logo to be rectangle or a square. That's like, easy to put in a lot of graphics and things like that. But E7's is very long and skinny. So it doesn't fit anywhere. So I can't make it as big as any of the other logos. And that's really bothering me. I also don't understand what the number 3 has to do with any of this.
Number of championships. I don't know.
Well, so you've got your inner ring, which has to be black because it's an Umbra, and then your ring outside of that is crimson, presumably. I'm red-green colorblind, presumably crimson.
Yeah.
Why do you have another ring outside of that? What's the third ring?
The outline, so that you could see the dark ring.
But the dark ring is inside. That's the Umbra. The inner circle is the Umbra part.
Right.
The outer black circle is not an Umbra. So what is that? I need the lore behind this logo. What does the sword have to do with anything? Why is there a cross on the sword? Are we all Christian?
After the game,
is
we
this
will get
like
an interview with E7's CEO and have Maris grill them on the logo dynamics.
Why is there a 3? I kind of would just... I'm going to do it really quick. I'm going to put up... This is the logo of the E7 Divine team that I had minimal problems with. All right? It says E and then the number 7. There's a crown on it. Cool. Whatever. That's very stylistic. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 daggers. That's stylistic.
Oh, if you're
So
actually
it's 7 daggers, 7
Yeah.
E7. It could be a crown with 7 spokes. I like it. Fine. No problems. Why is your sister team a sword? What does the number 3 have to do with it? All right. Very concerned. They also have a different sister team. I'm gonna look at this logo really quick. I'm not bringing it up on stream. I'm just gonna look at it. All right. E7 Umbra Gilded. They also have a number 3. Okay, so the inner ring isn't black. It's actually clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sorry,
the
I thought you
black
meant
is
that.
no, the black is just my screen. So if I put it over, like if I put it down here, it's no longer black. Okay, so
Right.
the Umbra part is just wrong. The Umbra part has to be black inside. Okay, so I hate this. Okay, 0 out of 10.
Officially, officially, Barretts has been confused and he hates it. So
Normally I can like see a theme. Like I'm not gonna go too ham on amateur logos. Like sure they can be a bit memey, but like I don't know. I'm not feeling this one. I don't understand it. Somebody can explain it to me. Maybe it makes a lot of sense, but right now, 0 out of 10. Thank you.
let's see if they redeem themselves from the logo bashing that has befallen us as we get into game one here.
My game might have crashed. Oh no, there it goes. Okay. All right, Alpals is letting us down with the skinless Ari. That's pretty rough. That's a tough one to come
Yeah.
back from.
So many skins to choose from. So many skins to own. Not one selected.
Like I feel it on some of the newer champions. Like maybe you don't like the skin, whatever. The base skins are better. Ari, she's
It's also
she's
possible
got like
some of those skins are
15 skin.
banned though, of the ones that he
Well,
owns.
so they're banned in the sense that if you pick them and the enemy team doesn't like them, they can ask for a remake.
Right.
You can still pick them. I would still pick them because whatever. What are they gonna do? Ban me? They won't. They're gonna make
Restart
me
the game.
they're gonna make me restart the game and pick a new skin, which is just the funniest thing I can possibly imagine.
Wow. Anyway, as
I
we
don't know
get
where
into
they came
game
up with
one
this
here,
banned skin list, but some of them are not that bad. I don't know.
I think they're that's like the official Riot ban list.
But that's posted nowhere. Where did they get it? Is
Well,
that
it's got to be posted from some rulebook somewhere, probably like
I
their
don't think
academy
it's
system or
I don't
their
think it's in any of
proving grounds
those.
or something.
I'm pretty sure it's just those are the ones that they don't have on the tournament realm or something. Like, I don't know. Anyway, we're in the game. I'm not gonna harp too much on anything else. I've been very negative so far this cast. Let's
Yeah,
get some
Varus on
positivity
the
going.
soapbox, gets off of work, puts on the headset,
It was a rough day.
finds something. That's all right. We will be watching some great gameplay here in this one. So I think the key for RTM is try to be as close to 0-0 and even as gold at like 20 minutes as you possibly can. Um, they are looking to scale, looking to get their Ezreal, Seraphine, and uh, Shyvana scaled up, ready to go for those mid to late game team fights. Whereas you could force the issue a little bit more if you're E7. They do have some nice scaling uh, in the Zillion, who scales really well with levels. So they can kind of combat ROTM scaling a little bit. But going to be looking to definitely scrap here in the early game and want to get either Samira or Garen ahead as their two main damage dealers.
Wait, Set is hella countered in this lane. Normally you just
Yeah,
abuse your regen by going in and forcing trades,
right.
but Garen gets
But
the same
Garen,
regen as you.
yeah,
That's so broken. All right,
yeah,
it's over.
it's also pretty good. I
It's
think
doomed.
also Garen can like, if you ult Garen while his E is active, his E continues.
Yeah,
Pretty sure
nothing.
that's an interaction.
Yeah, nothing stops his E basically. You can't knock him out of it. You can only let him spin slightly further away from you. Um.
Exactly.
Anyway, Loker and Cairo went defensive summoners as you would expect. The cleanse is kind of interesting, I think, on Loker. There's not like a huge amount to cleanse on this
Well,
team.
Recon Charm, you've got Zillion Bomb, you've got Volibear Stun as well.
Yeah, the major engage is knock up though, and that doesn't get cleansed. But yeah,
Right.
you're probably right. But I'm thinking more like you want to survive early lane. It's probably better to have heal, but not a huge deal. This is
Ooh,
this is
it's the
me being
cannon.
bronze over here with my analysis. Anyway, Lexar and You Love Me, of course, much more aggressive. They have the Exhaust and Ignite in the bottom lane. I like the summoner spell diversity that we've been seeing in bottom lane. Like it feels like you have a lot of options going into game. You don't just heal Exhaust is the only way anymore. It's kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
I mean, I feel like Ignite has definitely creeped its way into like what we're seeing from E7, where you go Ignite, Exhaust. I think Heal is kind of Summoner spell that's not used
Yeah.
nearly as much current meta.
No, I'd agree. I haven't seen it as often. You take heal on like an already healing champion, and then you take your exhaust on your ADC. I've seen that one, but
Yep.
not as often. That's like the only situation. You almost never like heal ADC with your support ignite like used to be 100% of the time, and you didn't think about it.
Yeah, definitely. So
Um,
I think it's fun to have some of that diversity in what you're allowed to pick bot lane and in other lanes too. I mean, top we've seen like we're seeing TP Ignite. There's definitely some trade-offs to that. I think in competitive though, having the TP in your back pocket later is always really nice to have as a top laner.
yeah, it feels like it's really hard to work around not having teleport in a competitive environment, but
Hmm.
I mean we've seen it work. Mason hits level 5, goes aggressive. Stand Eternal gets taken pretty low. Heimerdoodles and a hot NB gonna collide in the bottom lane. That was just a W and kind of a jarring jerk from the directed camera to head back and forth, but nothing really happening anywhere, which, as you mentioned, favors Rodham. It's good to see Mason actually get out to such a big early lead in this top lane. I would worry a little bit about Stand Eternal going off the rails with the Ignite Garen, but Mason already with the 10 CS lead feels pretty good.
Yeah, of course that big wave is pushing into Garen, which will alleviate that lead a little bit, but definitely has a lead
Yeah,
even with that
there's
minion
not
disparity.
there's not 16 there.
Yeah, yeah. So looking pretty good. And
Yeah, little gank
ooh,
in mid though. Hot NB goes in, gets the stun. Alpal's with a timely flash to go ahead and get out. He'll take a little bomb for his trouble, but um, opportunity to regank. But now Alpal's has a Spirit Rush available, so hopefully can get out of trouble if he sees it coming. And
yeah,
now
I will
Volibear
say,
without his flash means as well that it's going to be harder to execute those ganks for the Volibear.
yeah, I mean, Azilian does have really good self setup. You you just walk in and E them for the slow. Um, and as there's more and more levels, it gets harder and harder to get away because that slow gets bigger and bigger up to 99% as you max it out. But uh, yeah, don't necessarily need the flash. I think with the Zillion setup. So
Was it you I already ruined the Zillion skin for? Or was it... No,
which one?
it was Oath. It was Oath I was casting with. This Zillion skin, Sugar Rush Zillion.
Uh huh.
Just bring up the splash art on your phone or whatever, and
Oh, I have it.
look at his lips.
Oh no, I
Okay,
don't want to. It's the only Zillion skin I own.
Heimerdoodles is caught in the dragon pit and taken down for first blood. Hot NB, Lexar, and You Love Me get the first move, and that means that Heimerdoodles can't really exist there. And Shyvana without flash, without ult, means he can't leave the pit. Now Hot NB just tanking up that dragon, able to get it. They'll get the knock up and start to turn on to Loker. He's taken down. It's 2 kills for E7 early on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really any reason for Loker to be at the pit. Just because the objective you're not going to get since your jungler's already down. So just kind of give that, recognize it's not an opportunity for you to fight. Maybe push in, look to get some chip damage on the tower, and maybe even get a free back off if you're able to push in fast enough there.
Yeah, and it's a little enterprising from Heimerdoodles. I know he wants the dragons because Shyvana's scaling. I want dragon, and if he can sneak it, that's really good play all of a sudden. But once he gets caught, it's really hard. I think you have to hit level 6 before you can even attempt that play, so that way you can at
Yeah.
least Dragon's Descent out over the wall. But yeah, it doesn't turn out Rodham's way here early on. And now, 1,500 gold lead for E7, and a pretty fed Samira to try to contend with now in the bottom lane. Heimerdoodles here, now has level 6, has that Dragon's Descent. I think he might have been spotted, or at least Lexar and You Love Me are playing respectfully enough to not get caught by the Shyvana right now.
Yeah, And if you're E7, you are liking the spot that you're in right now. You've got a Drake for yourself, and you've got 2 kills on the Samira, which is, I mean, one of your primary damage sources. And so having that lead is really nice.
Mason's been using his W to clear the wave and just get little bits of chip damage in. It's kind of interesting usage rather than waiting for it to stack up with all the rage and get the maximum damage out of it.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a little bit of a response to Garen's silence, but maybe since he has the wave shoving, feels like he can use it a little bit more aggressively instead of defensively.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely a read and a response to the matchup. I'm not good enough at the game to give you the whole insight and the damage how this matchup goes, but like, yeah, it seems interesting. Yeah, there's the W. Still, again, not really letting it fully stack up. Anyway, Heimerdoodles is gonna get caught on this. That's not great. All right. Well, we gotta pause in
Yep.
combat, which is against the rules, so hopefully no one's gonna rule shark that. And it says fire alarm in the chat. Yeah, hopefully everything okay there for Heimerdoodles.
Yeah, I feel like he's getting ganked in real life and getting ganked on screen, so we hoping that works out fine for him. But in the meantime, E7 already establishing a little bit of a lead to themselves, 1500 gold lead. About 10 minutes into the game, and 2 kills onto your Samira, exactly who you want to have it on. So we are going to be treated to the sweeper sound for the next however long.
Yeah.
Until the pause is over.
Hopefully not too long. Hopefully we get an update relatively quickly. Although if you have to evacuate, you gotta evacuate. And okay, not really an update in the chat. You see the text messages pop up, and sometimes it's, you know, oh, here's what happened. Spell it out completely for you. The pause is gonna be this long, and you're like, okay, cool. And then other times it's people playing Hangman in the chat, and you just have to live with that. In this case,
Do you have any
sorry.
plans for the weekend, Mr. Maris?
Do I have any plans for the weekend? Unfortunately, we're taking my wife's car in to get worked on. Get some new brakes to take care of a recall that might have happened. Yeah, really fun stuff. Really adult things happening over here.
Oh yeah, yep. My parents are coming to visit me this weekend, so prepping for that a little bit.
Is that a good one or a bad one? I feel like it's a 50-50. It's good. We
No,
like the parents.
it's good.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think it'll be great. They haven't come out to visit me since I've moved to Port Angeles. So.
Oh, are they Pacific Northwest somewhere then, or are they?
No, they're from Kansas as well.
Okay.
So they're back from Manhattan. So.
Oh, nice.
They visited us when I used to live in Vancouver, Washington, but I've not.
But since the move, haven't come out.
No. So.
See, if my parents are coming to visit, it's usually bad. I don't want that to happen, but most people are excited to see their parents, so
That's fair.
I always have to check on that one. Still no update in the chat. Hopefully we get one before too long. I don't know. Although I don't know how you would update other than I'm back. Let's go. Because if it's a fire alarm, theoretically you're just out of the building, and I don't know
Maybe you
what
Discord one of your teammates that gives an update. You know.
Yeah, I don't know what his living situation is. Have no idea if this is a dorm room and we're out there for an hour and a half to an hour for a drill for no reason, or if it's just an apartment, if it's his house. It really could be anything. Anyway, I could talk. The Stanley Cup Final started last night. My Avalanche are up 1-0. They won in overtime, which kept me up a little late last night, which is unfortunate. But we take those.
One overtime?
Yeah, one over. It was. So it's funny. They had a power play going like into the end of the game. Had like 40 seconds of carryover, and then scored like immediately after it expired. So
that's funny.
Luckily, it was like a minute 23 of overtime. That's when they scored. But
Do you have a team you're rooting for?
so my favorite team is the Sharks, as my
Right.
background would show whenever I actually turn my camera on. My second favorite team is the Avalanche because I'm from Colorado. So
Oh, makes sense.
very excited for them to be in the final.
Yeah.
Uh,
1-0 lead. That's
traditionally,
pretty good.
traditionally the sports teams that I like most are really trash. I have not experienced any of my favorite teams win a championship, so
Yeah.
I have to take my second favorite.
I had not until Chiefs won recently. So, oh, here we go.
All right, we're back in. Heimerdoodle's burning just a little bit to that red buff from Hot NB, but not going to be able to capitalize. Yeah, anyway, shoutouts to the Arizona Cardinals and the San Jose Sharks for both breaking my heart. The Rockies also, I
Very
guess, made a
tragic.
World Series. So,
Yes.
and then the Nuggets would be my favorite basketball team, and they're just trash. So, no,
Yeah.
nothing's
I mean, I
no
always
notes about
love
that one.
cheering for underdog teams because when it goes well, it's really fun because you
No,
don't get it all the time.
all of those getting to the championships were a wild ride, and then
Yeah.
me being what was I like a high school junior, high school senior, when the Sharks made the championship. Just a mess for a whole week and a half, and then they lost a 6-game series to the Penguins, who just were one of the most stacked teams in a generation. So
Right.
feels bad, but happens. Although the Cardinals one was worse. You lose last second touchdown to fucking Ben Roethlisberger and Santonio Holmes, who are just
Yeah.
really upstanding individuals, by the way.
Very
Anyway,
tragic.
I could go on very long sports rants, but we'll keep it to league here. Loker and Cairo are going to
Yeah.
get a couple of tower plates down in bottom lane, and at least smooth out some of this gold lead. Loker's been doing pretty good work on the Ezreal, getting some poke in. He is
Yeah.
behind 25 CS, which is something we saw happen last week as well. Was Loker and Cairo just struggling in this early laning phase, getting behind. They keep it even after that, and it seems like they scale into mid and late game fine, but this early laning phase seems like a little bit of a weakness of theirs.
Yeah, and I think also that early death for Ezreal was really painful because they froze it on him because the wave was stuck near his tower. So lost out a lot of minions there for sure, and
Ooh, you
ganks
love
can
me
come
going
down
in
here and
for the
hot.
gank. Dragon's Descent over the wall, looking for Lexar. Oh, gets Windwalled away. The Seraphine ult not really connecting. Lexar still doing damage from the outside. Volibear picks up 1 kill. Lexar able to dash in, hits the Inferno trigger. Now gets the Zillion Chrono shift. In goes Hot Envy. Just tears through, gets the double kill. Doesn't even turn off the tower. Alpals comes over the wall to equalize and put ROTM on the board.
Yeah, 2 for 1 there, and a really nice pickup for the Volibear. Sadly, goes down, so is not able to actually utilize that Herald that was picked up while we were coming back from the pause. But yeah, the bot lane keeps on rolling for E7 here, finding 2 more
Oh,
kills.
Cairo's really low. He was trying to tank up the minions and stall him outside of tower, but now Whole Green Man not going to let him have that one. The root lands under tower, but he's not tanking tower, so it doesn't really matter. And in comes the Ezreal ult. Gonna clear that one away. I think he actually got the cannon minion, so that's pretty worth. But yeah, got the Seraphine Flash for essentially nothing out of that.
Yeah, just Cairo trying to help his ADC out a little bit there, and ends up having to use the flash. So I expected that honestly to be a little bit better of a play for RTM because I thought they countered it well, saw it coming well, but Zillion roam coming in a little bit faster than Ari was able to roam, and Hyperdoodle's just not tanky at all, going the
Blade
looks
the Run
like
King.
Bork build.
Yep.
Yeah, so 2 dragons already for E7, and this is kind of what they needed. You want to get going early against the scaling comp of RTM, and look to get some dragons on the table to get them to fight you once it starts getting to the next Drake and the Drake after.
Yeah, our team for their part, keeping it still about 1.5 to 2,000 gold. That's a reasonable deficit. We said the big hope was that there were no kills and it was 0-0. That's not really realistic, but if you can come away just down, a little handful of gold out of laning phase, that's not terrible. Loker still getting a little bit of poke. That's all of his burst though onto Lexar, and it's healed back up immediately. Immortal Shieldbow picked up for Lexar, and now you have the Essence Reaver completed for Loker. He's got to be careful. He stuck around for that minion, and that might cost him. Quickening comes out from You Love Me. Not going to be able to find anything. Heimerdoodle's still waiting in the wings. Hot NB, I don't think spotted him out, but...
Yeah. Notably, I don't think Volibear is going to be able to get this Herald down
Ooh,
before plates. No,
Heimer...
definitely not. So
Well, he got that.
missing out on an opportunity there.
Yeah. Nice little stun under tower. Wholegrain Man being very annoying, and actually up on CS on the Ari, which is maybe a little surprising to me. Mason doing pretty well for himself up in the top lane. Did use his teleport back up there just to get the recall off, and now a little bit of a health disadvantage, but now turning it around.
This is scary.
Yeah,
Ignite
this is really
are
scary.
probably
This is
kills.
kind of what I expected from the matchup. Stand Eternal just going in, uses the ult. That was really well timed by Mason. The
That
Ignite burning him down.
Up. Because he used it right at the start of that trade, and then it's a really long cooldown, so maybe just barely got away with that W cooldown coming back up. So well played there from Mason. Gets the Ignite out and the ult from Garen, so a lot of kill threat for Garen is going to be gone for the next couple minutes.
Yeah, doesn't have his flash now, still sticking around just because he can. He's set, he's got regen, pick up that wave, but he'll be pretty happy, I think, with the way that that trade went down, given how it started. Loker and Cairo still... Every time we look down here, Loker's getting poke off, he's getting CS, but they're still just not picking up all the CS that they could, it looks like, on this.
Yeah, and I feel like the wave has always been in a really rough spot for them. It's almost always just in the freeze territory of E7.
A big little Seraphine pop. They're gonna...
Ooh, the block?
The block to make sure that he can't farm the minions. You Love Me and Cairo gonna trade down on the bottom side. Actually, kind of devastating. Made sure that he couldn't get any of those ranged minions. I don't know that 3 ranged minions really, is the big tilter, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's not a
that's
very
a 60 gold W.
Seraphine, yeah, so... Or Samira.
Yeah. Now Zillion moving his way down, gonna get spotted on the ward. Cairo trying to turn around. They have Heimerdoodles and Alpals here, so the 4v4 brewing with a minute 30. I don't understand this client. Okay, so I have the Earth Dragon logo on screen. You can see this. This is the spectator. It's a Hextech map, though. So I'm assuming that it's a Hextech Dragon
logo on mine, so
okay, so
interesting.
The regular spectate is fine. The esports timers, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, this season with the spectate client has not gone the best, for sure.
At least we have one, unlike TFT or Valorant or
True.
LOR. I guess LOR kind of does. No, they don't. Never mind. I was going to say you can spectate friends, I think, but that's it. I'm not sure. Anyway, second Rift Herald, and we're going to fight over it, apparently. Mason goes in, gets a big pullback there. Getting a lot of damage down onto Wholegrain Man. Gonna go ahead and take the Volibear out of the fight, or not the Volibear, the Garen out of the fight. Volley uses the Stormbringer, just trying to turn onto the Rift Herald. It's gonna be taken by Seraphine, of all people. They pick up 1 kill, but Garen is just ripping on through. Stand Eternal, trying to find that last little bit of damage. Meanwhile, Wholegrain Man and You Love Me kiting out on the bottom side of the fight. Mason and Loker chasing him down. You Love Me is going to eventually die. The True Shot Barrage finishes him off for Loker. And ROTM finds a big fight around that Rift Herald. Lexar, notably, not involved at all in that fight. So it was a 5v4 pretty much straight up.
Yeah, and honestly, RTM played that fight really well. Did a good job of Set getting out, kind of distracting a couple members so that they split the team, and then waiting for Volibear to drop the Zillion ult before landing the killing blow. So everything turning up really good there for RTM, and now they've equalized that gold. And with the scaling comp, it looks really good for them. So I hate when teams kind of decide they want to have a big team fight around the second Herald. I think it's not really worth very much, and gives over actually XP and gold to the other team when it crashes into your tower and you die around it. So, but this Drake, we may see another setup here for a fight.
That was a play. Cairo just trying to escort Heimerdoodles out, trying to kite back away. He doesn't have the rage yet to go Dragon's Descent. Hot NB gonna get taken pretty low. Flash out of the back of the pit there. Loker sending the True Shot Barrage in, gets a lot of damage through. Now the fight commences. Mason is just in the middle, hits the big settle for the double kill immediately, gets the triple on the end. Hot NB forced to flee, and he'll be taken down by the Dragon's Descent, and Alpals cleans him up. ROTM finds another 4 for 1. Excuse me, around this dragon. They'll get the push in. That was another really nicely played team fight. Mason in particular popped off.
Yeah, had a great TP flank there. Coming in behind, landed a really good E on the set, and then landed such a clutch ultimate, landing a ton of damage onto the group members of E7. And now RTM is going to have a huge gold swing there, getting a tower for themselves with the Rift Herald, and then Dragon and the 4 kills.
Yeah,
Might
the
even
dragon,
get bot tower here too.
Yeah, and the Dragon means that much more because you have a Shyvana on your team, so she'll get the extra armor and MR. Thank you very much. Extra bot lane tower. There you go. Yeah, almost 4,000 gold in the lead now for ROTM as the pendulum has swung back the other way.
Yeah, and now with the lead and a dragon under the belt, they're going to feel a lot better. They're not going to feel forced to fight these dragon fights unless they want to. So, but looking from the last 2 team fights that they probably will want to. Flagged pretty well here.
Yeah, they seem in the true OG Rodham spirit of never backing down from any single fight, ever.
No objective fight could go without being matched.
That was a funny team back in the day. I loved
yeah,
casting and watching you and the boys. Anyway, back down memory lane. That's what, 3-4 years ago now. Jesus.
Yeah, so long.
In esports time, that makes me like Grandpa Maris. Jesus.
It does feel that way. It's been a long time since then.
Anyway, 8-6 for ROTM. As we mentioned, about a 4,000 gold lead. Loker gonna take the Hex Gate. I wish I remembered. There's an anecdote during MSI, maybe you'll remember, where they were talking about how the Chinese players refer to the Hex Gates.
I don't remember this.
I think it was the bus station, something like that. I
do like that.
I might be making up the funny quote, but yeah, it was something I was like, oh, I need to remember that for the cast, and then I just forgot it immediately. It was like bus station or van or some. It was a form of transportation. I really liked it rather than the Hex Gate. But, Baron is started up at 21 minutes by ROTM. They don't have that big of a lead. They haven't drawn anybody to a
bot, though.
Yeah, that's the only thing that they see. Hot Envy is just standing in a bush right now. Now he's recalling. Mason pretty low, gets healed up though by the Seraphine, 1,000 health, smited away by Heimerdoodles. No contest for E7.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really good punish there from RTM to realize Volibear's bot lane. They see him there, and they can just start up the Baron. And I don't think there's really much you want to contest there. You could maybe try to buy time for Volibear to get back up there, but it's really scary to fight a 4v5 when you know that you've lost the last 2 team fights. So
I just thought it was weird. Like, there wasn't an attempt to. Volley was just standing in the side bush and bottom lane for most of that. Finally hit recall like around the time that the Baron finished up. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
he got nothing accomplished.
I
don't. He was probably watching what was happening and like trying to shot call it. Maybe thought he was backing and wasn't. But it's just bizarre watching it without that knowledge.
Or maybe you're hoping that they don't call your bluff and you just don't show on the map, so they think that you're coming to the Baron and they get off of it. I don't know, but anyway, RTM punishes that Hot and B being bot side there, and looks
really
like
called them out now
here at the top.
Yeah, Mason getting collapsed on, uses the settle to try to get out, gets stunned immediately afterwards by Hot Envy, gets the slowdown with his stride breaker. Gets smited though, has the E back for the slow and the stun, but in comes the Stormbringer, the W. Yeah, nothing really going to happen here for Mason. He gets shut down, but that opens up the mid lane tower. Loker and Cairo pick up 1. They're going to chunk through the inhibitor tower now. Looks like Heimer was headed up maybe to help him out, or maybe just to steal jungle camps. I'm not really sure, but he rejoins the boys in mid lane. Oh, I see what he was going for. He was trying to use the Seraphine ult through Loker and Heimer doodles to just extend and catch them by surprise, but didn't quite get enough range on that. Now Heimer gonna get knocked up. Dragon's Descent, that's so much damage. I always forget how much damage the Fireball does, but they're caught 4v3. They need to Alpals to try to collapse. A huge root actually coming on through. Heimer doodle still trying to set the front line. They're able to take down the Seraphine. Loker is frontlining though. He gets caught. Hot Envy just chunked. He's able to stay alive. The Chrono Shift means that they can't really go forward to Alpals. Maybe looking for him, not going to find the charm, and has the last dash back out. So RTM again gets 2 more kills. They come out positive on that trade.
Yeah, and they didn't even lose a single member there, even though they were down a number. So really nice for RTM, able to pick up 2 more there, and they've got the scaling comp and keep winning out on these mid-game team fights. So going to pick up another dragon for themselves as well.
Yeah, and this dragon just super free because Mason just respawned. No one else has respawned. Easy. Just how you draw it up, I guess. Kind of. Not really. Don't draw it up that way. But it works out. 10-7 for ROTM. And now 2 dragons in their pocket. They're headed potentially for the full 4-stack Hextech dragon, which CDR on these champions feels pretty good. Attack speed on these champions, not as good, but, you know, Shyvana, Ezreal, and Set will take it.
Yeah, definitely not bad to have on those champs, but I would be surprised if we get to 2 more Drakes based on how these last 2 fights have gone, but objective bounties should maybe help out with that.
Oh, they get the charm onto Lexar. He's able to use the wind wall to get rid of the Seraphine ult, and that's enough to get him out. So nicely played once he realized he was caught out by Lexar, able to at least get himself out. He'll get healed up now in the fountain and maybe be able to defend this inhibitor, but ROTM not giving them a huge amount of room to breathe. They'll go in, take down the inhib, and then rotate, looks like toward bottom lane potentially is their next target.
Yeah, Seraphine ult just didn't come out quite quick enough for the follow-up off the charm. Nice W there from Lexar to get out of it. But RTM is going to take all of the bot side camps here while they wait for the minions to come and get this tower.
Yeah, Garen's just kind of doing his own thing. He's going to go try to take that inner tower in top lane.
This is, yeah, honestly fine. You trading towers is advantageous for you because 1, you're behind, and 2, you have objective bounties, but a big fight here.
Yeah, big Zillion ult. He gets the Chrono Shift, able to stay alive thanks to that one. Hot Envy has to jump out with the Stormbringer and goes Alpals, the big Seraphine ult, get the charm up. Lexar does a lot of damage, but it's not enough to finish off anyone from ROTM, and that should lock up game number 1 for Darkwind.
Yeah, Garen, the lone member here. There are quite a few low targets that you could hit with ult, but the Seraphine W coming out with a lot of healing. We'll have to see if RTM is actually able to finish this off, or I Stand Eternal is going to be able to fend off the minion wave here, but not looking so hot for him right now.
Yeah, in goes Mason. He'll finish him off with the Haymaker for the 15th kill of the game. They'll knock down the Nexus turrets, and they'll knock down the Nexus for game number 1 and take their first win in a game of the season and head to match point.
Yeah, RTM getting their first win. Just a tale of the scaling comp there. Lost the early team fights like we expected, and then came out ahead in the mid game. That second Rift Herald fight was the difference maker in the turnaround for this game. So we'll have to see how E7 rebounds in game 2.
Oh, they left me a spot.
Nice.
Awfully kind of them. Didn't leave you a spot though.
Maybe soon.
up, just got hit with a new insult. Randlow Piss Pog. Alright.
That's a new one. Ran low. I kinda like that. That's funny.
I never got into the piss slow dog water elo meta of names, you know. Kind of avoided that one.
I think it's pretty.
I also never caught on with the copium. Not into the copium meta either.
Copium meta's around to stay. Alright.
Oh, they're staying the same size?
Ah,
I have to
E7
less.
elected to stay red, so.
I have to do less work. That's amazing.
Well, I got 3 wards. I can re-roll them.
That way we don't have any vision. Just keep re-rolling your wards rather than placing them.
Yeah, I actually just re-roll them as soon as I get my upgraded support item.
Oh no, the title says Middlsticks with no E. Oh, I missed that. I missed that comment. Oh,
Tragedy.
tragedy has struck.
The VOD is ruined.
Lane, you need to probably leave the Darkwind team.
No, I'm on it.
They're telling you to move in the chat.
I moved. Forget.
Oh, I didn't know
I'm
if you
playing
wanted
this
to tell
next game
them.
and casting. You didn't know?
Sure. I did that at the in-house event. Why not? Sure.
Why not?
Oh,
All right, moving into game 2 here.
yeah, they're just ready to go. So we're back. RTM once again on the blue side. E7 has elected to stay on the red. So we'll see what they want to change up. If anything, maybe they run it back. Straka, Udyr, Echo, Talia, Yone. These all look very familiar.
So far, the exact same bands,
And
and
Mike, yep.
we're gonna all of them be the
Seraphine,
same.
okay.
So RTM, Seraphine, the salty run back. It'd be really funny if we just see that.
E7's taking their time thinking about it.
They are thinking about it. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know that ROTM would take Volibear or Samira if they were left open. So
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're 7 for 7, 8 for 8, 8 for 8.
Yeah, I don't hate the Volibear. Again, that's a flex pick, so you have
Yeah,
some
and
options
it
if
seemed
you do want
fine,
to change things up
so.
later. A lot of times, what you see on these is you can't let go of any of these first couple of bans. You don't want to play against those champions, so you run back the first part of the draft, but then you ban different stuff in the second part, and it goes off the rails from there. I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen the full salty run back in amateur ever. I've seen it in LCS a couple of times, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen it in amateur. The Zillion
Yeah.
is different spot, but same champion, so you could still get Samira and, round out the same part of the draft. Nidalee, though, for hybrid
Ooh.
noodles means it's not the full run back.
Yeah. I thought Hot and B played really well on the Volibear mechanically last game. So no reason to no surprise there that going back to that pick, but Zilean being second means that they may have a chance to kind of flex that. Could be mid, could be support, especially into a Seraphine or another Enchanter. I think Zilean does really well because it allows you time to scale. But Aatrox could be locked in for RTM, which was notably banned in the second phase of bans.
Yeah, it's been banned all 3 games against it. So
yeah,
excited to see this pick for Mason.
Yeah, and you definitely want some sort of CC or kind of lockdown with the Nidalee. Aatrox not too bad at doing that with 3 knockups in his kit, and also the pullback on W. So
yeah, I was gonna say
Pantheon.
Ooh. All right.
Huh.
I was gonna say ideally you have CC in all of your lanes when you're playing with Nidalee.
Yeah,
she doesn't offer a whole lot on her own in terms of that, but has a lot of other, advantages. But now with the Aatrox and the Seraphine, you got 2 of your 3 covered, and yeah, with the Pantheon, there's literally no tell about where any of these champions are going. Pantheon can be played notably any role, fine. I think his best roles are probably
mid,
support and mid.
Yeah,
your top 2.
I would agree. But yeah, definitely a champ that is pretty off meta, so it could definitely catch RTM by surprise just because of a lack of knowledge in the matchup or lack of practice in the matchup, which is kind of fun about off meta picks. You kind of get an intrinsic advantage in picking the champion because you know it so well, assumedly. But yeah, not a lot revealed here for E7 of like where those lanes are gonna end up.
Yeah, Zeri, Yumi feel kind of like generic bans. The Arya and Akali targeted toward Alpals. This is definitely interesting. I wonder what E7's gonna go. If this is another flex pick, yeah, I'm gonna have an aneurysm. But we'll see if this gives us any clarity here. I kind of hope not. Those are always fun drafts. Yeah, that doesn't help. All right, Vigar.
Yeah, I mean,
Vigar's either bottom or mid. He's only got 2 roles he can go.
Yeah, I mean,
you can support Vigar, I guess.
You can support it. It's doable. Not the best, but
I would.
It could also be Vigar Zilean bot lane's always a lot of fun because you just throw him in the cage and then Zilean bombs on top. So
I was gonna say Vigar Pantheon doesn't seem terrible either, because you throw them in the cage and then they can't escape Pantheon.
Right.
They have to stay in the Rumble Dome. Twitch is going to be picked up for ROTM. That feels a little risky there for Loker. I don't think you can flex Twitch with the Nidalee up. Nidalee has to jungle. I don't think that champion can do anything else. So, I mean, I don't think you can reasonably do it.
You'd want to, yeah.
That and Heimer Noodles is... I don't want to say Nidalee one trick, but does favor Nidalee pretty heavily. Victor... locked in. That's a strong pick. It's one of the stronger regular mage picks. So, Twitch Seraphine. You got a rat, you got a cat, you got a couple of other things happening in this game. Yeah. It's a relatively solid comp. You have crowd control in every lane for your Nidalee. You have scaling again with the Twitch and Victor. It feels similar to what they played last game. You don't have like
the best engage. I think that's there's no like huge go button except the Seraphine ult, which without another engager doesn't guarantee that you hit. But yeah, E7 is really short range here with the Diana locked in, and I don't even think that clears things up either.
No, I'm posting this for Vaughn to try to figure out.
Yeah, that's a good question. You can play who goes where with this draft.
Alright, so now that we've given our Discord a game, you get to play the same game live on the stream. What do you think?
Let's see. I'm gonna say, and this is without having seen their champs, that it is going to be Diana jungle, Valley Bear top, Pantheon mid, and Zilean Vigar bottom. That is my thought.
That sounds pretty reasonable, honestly. Like, I feel like they have a lot of flex picks, but you don't have like you don't have another bot lane option other than Vigar, right? At least a meta-ish bot lane option. So Vigar goes there. You could probably flip Zillion and Pantheon, and I wouldn't bat too much of an eye, but Zillion probably pairs better with Vigar than Pantheon does. So that leaves Pantheon mid. And then, yeah, you have Diana Volibear. Yeah, Volibear top, Diana jungle. That seems reasonable. We'll see if they really trick us with that. I don't disagree, but... they're into second draft, so we'll... this doesn't necessarily have to give us clarity with this first initial lock. They can still trade around. There's Pantheon top. Sure, why not? I'm dropping frames like a mofo. Also great. Thank you, Comcast.
Your mic, yeah, mic dropped out for a second there, but you're back. So.
Yep. Nope, we do be dropping frames. We've dropped 325 frames so far. Shout out to X.
A little sad.
Alright, yeah, this seems like a reasonable composition as well. Pantheon top is your counter to Aatrox, I guess, and then the rest of it kind of plays out the way you would expect.
Yeah. I think it makes sense. I'm kind of interested to see how this top matchup goes. I think Mason played it really well last game. Kind of got the better of the Garen set matchup, especially farm-wise. So I'm interested to see how this Pantheon counter pick works for I Stand Eternal.
Yeah, it felt like he got his aggressive counter pick in last game, and then had a rougher lane phase on it. So, kind of curious to see if this one fares a little bit better for him. Again, these guys can still trade around until like 20 seconds left in this timer, if we're following LCS rules, or 0 seconds left in this timer if we're not following LCS rules. You never know. I read the rule books enough to like have an idea, but I don't need to know those rules, right?
Right.
That
I'm pretty sure it's the 20-second mark.
That I'm not gonna call anybody out. Like I don't really care if I'm playing, but
it really depends on the. Kitty, why are you in front of my screen? All right, I'm gonna let my cat out while we're waiting through this 3-minute queue.
All right. Well, while Lane's letting his cat out, I was gonna segue to something, and then I didn't really have a whole lot. We have merch. You could go to our merch store. That's pretty cool. There will probably be a link in the chat at some point. You can buy shirts and stuff and support RTM. We got 2 really sick jerseys. We got
or if you need a mouse pad.
Or if you need a mouse pad. Has those shipped? Or is it just Wings that has been gone for eternity? Or
I think it's just Wings because I think other people have gotten one. I ordered one recently, so we will see if it's just Wings order. That doesn't come through on that, but I ordered one I think last week, and it said 2-week estimate, so we'll see.
Yeah, I unfortunately haven't been able to order anything from the store yet. I've ordered a ton of stuff for other people. I've never ordered anything for myself yet. I have 2 old Rodham jerseys still, so I don't know if they fit, but I might have to get a bigger one that fits.
2, so you have the t-shirt.
Yeah, I have the t-shirt. I have the old gold t-shirt. It's the black and gold one. The OG. Yeah. And then I have the first jersey that we made.
Nice. I got my last jersey framed. It's hanging in my office now. Since we moved on to the new one, I thought no reason to have 2 jerseys hanging around. I might as well.
You gonna pick up
one up on the wall?
Black and white alt jersey? Those things are slick.
They do look good.
Gareth R posted that picture, and I'm like, ooh, that almost looks better than the color.
Yeah, I really like it.
I don't know if you saw. I tweeted out today. There was on my account, I guess, not the Rodham account, but they're selling Dodgers, like LA Dodgers jerseys with holes in them.
I saw
for
that.
like $2,000.
Yeah, Off-White doing their whole thing.
Yeah.
I think, well, it shouldn't be that expensive, but like the most egregious thing was to me was the hat. Like it looked so bad, the like hole
Yeah.
in
And
the
then
middle of the hat. On the brim, like whatever, but like in
yeah,
the
it's
middle
right
of the
right in the
hat.
noggin. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then I'm imagining like some bald guy buying it, and then just that one spot on your head gets sunburned. That'd be so bad.
Yeah, and like the fabric was already fraying from where they took the hole out. It just seems like you'd wear it once and it would start falling apart. You know, like fabric's not designed to do that. You know. Anyway,
I don't know. Maybe
it,
I don't understand the cachet. I mean, it's clearly not made for me because I don't have that kind of money, and I don't understand the high fashion behind it. So
yeah,
therefore, I shouldn't pass judgment because that's how I usually view media. Like, oh yeah, this TV show isn't. I'm not the target audience, so whatever they can.
I mean, I don't care. Like,
Yeah,
if
I
somebody
don't.
wants to buy it and wear it, like whatever.
Yeah,
But
but then I
I just
shouldn't
thought
also pass the
it was
judgment on
surprising.
it. But yeah, I think the worst part is that they put LA and Dodgers in quotation marks. Like it's not even a real LA Dodgers stuff. So it's just the Dodgers in air quotes.
Oh man. Well, we will see the premiere of uh, the Heimerdoodles Nidalee, a definitely historically very good pick for him. Um, used to play it back in the old days.
Back
Still
in the old
plays it. I mean, he
days.
still plays it about, but
Yeah.
at least from when I saw him playing it and back in the good old Get Wrecked LCS.
Yeah, for Team Fish Taco. Shout out to the boys. They're paused. Someone had to use the little Seraphine's room. I like that.
Another fire alarm, maybe.
Smile. Oh, all right. So then I guess Cairo went to the restroom and then came back, and then now Stand Eternal has
There,
also decided to use the restroom. So we're we're chilling
we're
here
chilling.
for just a little bit. We can talk about more. I, I don't have a logo soapbox. I talked about the Dodgers shirt. I'm running out of material for the day. Oh, we ordered new buttons. We put in an order
Oh,
today, so
what were
look forward to those.
the emotes that you ended up selecting, or we have to wait for the
Well, you can look in at the poll and
right?
see
But I didn't
which
know if
one.
we did 3 or 4.
Oh, we reordered the old ones that we had.
Mhm.
Uh, so we'll have 12 total, I believe.
Whoa!
That's what I'm being told in my ear by a little bird. Not the bird
Oh,
on the emotes, but a different one. But yeah, the poll notes Carhartt, Ka with a gun, and Clown and Yika won the role.
very nice.
So um, those are all getting emotes. I forget what the last one was that we picked for the six, but and then the original six is coming back, which was Suck and Thinking, and there's one other that we don't have right now that we reordered. But yeah, woo,
Nice.
buttons.
That'll be very fun.
So yeah, look forward to that. If you want to stack up your channel points, you can get buttons um, for free. If you don't want them for free, you can buy them. I forget what price we set, but I think it's like $1.50 per button. They're not that expensive. But yeah, here we go. Game number 2. Our team on the blue side, E7 on the red side. You can see where they wound up. So the Pantheon top confirmed against the Aatrox. I guess that's
Yeah,
the one surprising one, right? The rest of it feels pretty expected.
very much so. I think I don't think anything here is that surprising, but it is interesting to see where they picked all of their flex picks and where they decided to
Yeah.
put them. Um, I think for RTM, Cairo is going to be pulling a lot of weight here. Is going to be the source of engage as well as disengage for the team. Um, E7 lacks some range, but they have a ton of scrappiness, able to go in, able to burst people down, jump on people with like Pantheon, Diana. Um, and so I think that will be helped out a lot by the Zillion. I think honestly, I prefer E7's comp. I think it's a little bit easier to execute, but Hyperdoodles on the Nidalee when people are on their mains can always kind of turn some things for you, and I don't always feel like I don't feel like he has the best setup in every lane here, but um, could definitely have a pop-up performance. It really needs to on the Nidalee pick to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, and you do eventually, if this game goes late enough, start thinking about, Pantheon doesn't scale particularly well. Uh, Diana struggles a little bit as you get later on in the game as well, and you don't have that big sustained range DPS to be able to chug through in Aatrox if they get going.
Yeah,
Um,
sieging towers is going to be really hard for E7 this game without just diving.
yeah, but they
Um,
have a lot of tools. They can force fights. It'll be interesting to see how they play around that particular caveat. That is just the one kind of hiccup that they have with this composition.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be very dive focused, but do have some good scaling with the Vigar and the Zillion bot lane.
Yeah.
Both those champs do really well as the game goes later, and I think Zillion, especially being able to enable those champs that want to go in with the speed up with the ult, of course, gonna be really good.
Oh my
But
god, so much
getting to the
damage from
top
Mason.
side here.
He's looking for the solo
Oh,
kill, but gets stunned just in time by Hot Envy. A Stand Eternal throws out the spear, gets the ignite as well. Mason gets flash and eaten by Hot Envy for first blood for E7. They burned a lot of summoner spells in that exchange, all three of them they had available, but they're able to take down Mason.
yeah, and that's really unfortunate there for Mason. At the flash or the stun followed through his flash there, so when he flashes and it ends up on the other side, it's just stunned, unable to auto attack for the kill there, and play that looked pretty good. Um, Sadly, goes a little bit awry for him, but Pantheon without the ult here. Or without the ignite here is not going to be as much of a threat in the 1v1 scenario, and Aatrox TPing back should be able to get that wave in.
Root gonna land onto Lexar. Loker finds just a little seam, but gets immediately stunned up by the Zillion. It's a good trade though for Loker and Cairo, but they have to worry now about Hot Envy potentially being around. I think they spotted him out though. They're pinging on top of him. They have some idea about where the volley bear is, but here comes Loker again. Gets the cask down. No flash yet for Lexar, but Loker goes in for the follow. Not quite able to find that last little bit of damage. The poison won't finish him off, but they get the flash out of the Vigar and then the exhaust now out of the Zillion. And now here comes Heimerdoodles maybe to look for a cheeky spear.
Yeah. Notably, Lexar is going to be able to actually TP to this tower, but you've expended a really long cooldown in that TP for just a amplifying tome, so not really going to be able to make very much of that initial TP. So good job there by Loker and Cairo, looking a little bit different from the lane phases we've seen so far from them.
Yep, Mason trying to hit the combo. That's a big golden Aegis shield though from Stand Eternal. And now has to be a little careful here. Once you get that Pantheon stacked up, he can dive tower pretty easily. Could just walk forward and spear. So yeah, you can see where Mason has to retreat to so that he doesn't get speared by...
Yeah, and I think he just needs to recall here, because you're going to just lose these two minions anyway. Ooh, goes in a little bit.
The Q?
Heals back up, trades it about even. So as the
got
passive
Deathbringers.
auto, he's going to be able to heal, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, he's got that Deathbringer stance. If he can ever just auto something. He was really holding it, I think, trying to... You get a little bit more healing off of champions, but still trying to look for it. Heimerdoodle's hanging around, wasn't able to find a whole lot, it looks like. Now Wholegrain Man getting a little aggressive onto Alpals. First time we've really seen mid lane, but now level 6 is hit for both. And immediately the Chaos Storm going to get dropped, but in comes the Moonfall from Wholegrain Man, and they'll exchange flashes.
Yeah, both flashes there, but Alpals notably has the TP, so he's going to actually be able to come back to this lane full health, full mana, and be able to potentially get an advantage off of that TP. Both junglers positioning kind of aggressively here, and they may have lured Hot and B into a trap.
Oh, the spear doesn't quite land onto Stand Eternal, but Mason hits the Deathbringer. They'll get the reset and the kill in the top lane. Heimer not able to find a whole lot here. Spear gets the Dark Harvest prac. That's about all you can really hope for, I guess.
They may look for a dive here.
Yeah, they might look for it. They're definitely posturing aggressively. In comes the spear. The Golden Aegis shield comes out. Stand Eternal tanking minions. He just dies to the minions. Oh no, the Ignite gets the trade back for Stand Eternal. So the 1-for-1 underneath the tower, but you get the extra assist gold.
Yeah, I mean, even with that trade back, Pantheon is going to lose out on so much farm there. Nidalee also going to probably pick up at least one turret plate there. And so really nice to get the solo gold on that. RTM probably could have played that just slightly better and had the Nidalee start the tank since Aatrox was already so low. But the only good thing there for Ice and Turtle is he's able to use his Ignite to get the trade kill on the Aatrox.
Yeah, so 2-2, but small gold leads almost across the board for ROTM, I would say. I'll even flip it over so you can see them. I guess that's just strictly not true. Okay, the big gold leads are top and mid or top and jungle, and then mid and AD just a couple of gold behind their counterparts right now. Kind of an interesting trade pattern. I'm curious. So Stand Eternal went for Conqueror, which gives you just that little bit of healing and damage, but it's harder to proc because you need 6 stacks of it. Um, PTA is your
Yeah.
all-in rune if you're going Pantheon.
Yeah, I think you get a little bit, or
You
it's
can
like
do
easier to stack when you have the W with your passive stacked because you get I think 3 of the charges
yeah,
there.
you get
So
3. So when you're playing PTA Pantheon, you can just
right, you just
hit.
get it procced.
Yeah, so your empowered W auto procs PTA, and then you go through with an auto and a Q with PTA stacked, which gives you the extra damage.
Oh
It's pretty
my,
nasty. Oh
yep.
my god.
Yeah, I was kind of interested to see how this Pantheon counter pick that Ice and Turtle did into the Aatrox. Was interested to see how it would work because in my mind it feels really hard to be a champion that like jumps to Aatrox like the Pantheon. Uh, I mean, it can kind of get you out of some of the ranges of his Q, but Aatrox doesn't mind having people jump uh, on him like Pantheon does. So
Ooh, Alpal's not gonna get that cannon minion, just has to try to poke Whole Grain Man off the wave. Maybe the big advantage here right now for E7 is going to be this mid lane where Whole Grain Man has opened up a pretty big CS lead, and now they're going to call in Hot Envy. He's got Stormbringer. They can dive underneath his tower. They get the stun into the Moonfall. They don't even need it. So, nice kill for RTM. Stand Eternal is back in top lane and is immediately greeted by Mason and Heimerdoodles looking to dive him. Q2 hits, auto, Q3. That's really clean. Heimerdoodles was taking up that tower the whole time. They learned from their first dive. And oh no, he's going to walk into the volley bear and get torn through.
this might be a double
Hot
kill
Envy
here.
hits, goes forward with the Stormbringer. Mason trying to turn this one back around. He's got enough on the Aatrox to be able to get away. And yeah, good trade kill from Hot Envy. Keeps the gold relatively even. Heimerdoodle's just a little unlucky to walk into him there at the end.
Yeah, but honestly, a really nice play there from E7 in the mid lane. Super clean combo, able to just blow up Alpals before he's able to even move. And then Hot and B roaming up to the top side to kind of punish the top dive. Really good, but Mason is off to the races here, really getting the better of this Pantheon matchup, especially with all the help from Heimerdoodles in the early attention that he's been giving top lane.
Yeah, unfortunately that kill knocks all of the stacks off of Heimerdoodle's Dark Seal. Um, also ripped those. He had 4 of them. But yeah, Loker and Cairo going to work on this bottom lane tower. This feels like they've scaled nicely. They haven't been in a lot of trouble thanks to the Vygar Zillion lane. They're getting extra gold on the Twitch, which is always positive, and they'll be happy to go even. It looks like Lexar is going for the Everfrost, which is, I don't say
I feel
interesting.
like
It's at least noteworthy for the Vygar.
yeah, both. I feel like both of these bot lanes have to be pretty happy with not getting much attention at all. Both of them really looking to scale into the late game. So while I say that, it looks like Hot MB is roaming around this bot side, but most likely just going to pick up the dragon. I don't think too much will happen in this bot with RTM knowing that he's there.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to really do a whole lot right now as Dark Wind. Heimerdoodles is going to go ahead and start up the Rift Herald. And it looks like Hot Envy is going to just walk into the enemy jungle. Loker gets the flash out of Lexar again right off of cooldown. they'll trade those up on the bot lane carries. Cairo just making sure that he doesn't take too much extra damage, but Hot Envy is behind. The exhaust comes down onto Loker. Do they have the stun? Do they have the follow through? There's one stun, gets cleansed. The last bomb not quite needed though, but You Love Me picks up that kill. Mason just goes straight for the dive. The ignite isn't going to be enough. He's burning, but it's not quite enough. The solo kill in top lane for Mason. Yeah.
Mason just continuing to punish this matchup, playing it really, really well. Gets another kill for himself there, and then while that trade in the bot lane happens, where Dragon's going to be picked up for E7, and this Rift Herald is going to be picked up for RTM. I think with so many plates already going down, Heimerdoodles is probably going to look to put this somewhere else on the map, get one of the other lanes ahead, maybe this bot lane, get some extra gold on your scaling 80 carry, or potentially in the scaling mid lane. So we'll have to see, but a minute and 15 seconds until plates go down, so want to definitely get that down before plates go down to get the extra oomph of gold.
Yeah, down onto his Krugs right now, so I would imagine it's going to be bottom lane for Loker and Cairo. Because now Hot Envy, you Love Me has moved up. That's kind of an interesting. He's on the roam right now away from Lexar, which might be pretty costly here if the Rift Herald gets dropped. Not having the support there, who did just pick up the kill. Alpals also might not be there. Has the gravity well. The dash forward whole grain man able to find the solo kill and tank up enough tower shots to get on out. Had the Zillion in the back pocket if he absolutely needed it, but not necessary. First tower is going to fall in the bottom lane though. Loker and Cairo and Heimerdoodles all pick that one up. So overall, a positive gold trade for ROTM, although whole grain man will get to even that up just a little bit here with a tower plate, maybe 2 before this gold falls off, and Shelly gonna get another charge in.
No one is here.
Yeah, doesn't really have anybody who can help him out, but taking a big trade onto Hot Envy, hits the World Ender, looking for the trade onto You Love Me. Heimerdoodles and Cairo trying to get into position to help out. The charm goes through, able to hit a Hot Envy. Do they have anything to turn this one around? Alpals is here, drops the Chaos Storm, able to separate the fight with the Gravity Well. Stand Eternal forced away. They get the 1 kill. In comes Loker, gets the slow with the Poison Cask. Stand Eternal taking a little bit of damage, but doesn't look like that's going to be a whole lot more. Everybody going to share the bomb at the end, but just the 1 kill as our team defends their jungle. Mason 1v4 at one point in that, but able to stand up tall.
Yeah, I'm surprised just how long he was able to last there. Just shows how far ahead he is, especially with this Gore Drinker and his ult, able to just live and do so much healing. Able to buy enough time for his teammates to come help him out, when I really thought that shutdown was going to go over to E7.
Yep, no, Heimer up in the top lane just looking to try to force down this tower, I would imagine, and unlock Mason. Mason, no fear of anything, just going to walk on forward, not able to get the pullback on the Infernal Chains. Good flash from Stand Eternal, but the tower goes down nonetheless, and ROTM exerting a lot of pressure. It's only 6-6 in kills, but it feels like they're pretty significantly ahead up on this top side of the map. They're sending a couple of people on to try to shepherd the Aatrox and Italy out, but they can both eventually dash over the wall. There's the jump. They get the blast cone, and that was a tight timing there from Heimerdoodles. They get the flash just over. That blast plan was almost just a big scramble, but they'll get everybody out. Mason gets the knockup just on the edge of the Infernal Chains. Nice. Keeps him in that, and Heimerdoodles picks up the spear kill.
Yeah, Mason is starting to move this gold lead around the map now with the top tower going down, so it's going to be a big pain point for
Loker
E7 to have
gets
to
the
play
flank,
around.
just getting some autos down to chase You Love Me and Whole Grain Man off of the tower. Spear not quite going to land. They have to be a little careful for the Twitch, but this is opening more damage up on this mid lane tower, and this has been the Mason show. He's really performed on this Aatrox.
Yeah, I mean, even from the early levels, had a really nice trade that almost netted him a 1-for-1 early. Has just really never let the pressure cease for this Pantheon, and up 3 levels already. And with so much attention, E7 has tried to bail this Pantheon pick out, but has not really been able to do anything.
They might have caught Hot Envy. They don't know that they've caught him, and yeah, they're not going to pitch him.
A little sad. Yep, ships passing in the night there.
Yeah, if Alpals had walked forward and just bought a little time for Mason to get in position, it should be a sure kill, or at least, a positive fight after that. But they let him go, and instead are going to focus on Lexar, Charm. Okay. I like what Kairo's looking for. He's looking just for the range extensions on these ults. I can't blame him. It's really hard to know how far it's going to go once it
Yeah.
passes through, but Mason and Loker both dodged it, so it doesn't matter. Or Mason and Alpals, excuse me. Loker's
Yeah, notably, that is really RTM's like one big source of engage right before this dragon fight happens. So um, could be kind of costly to use it there.
Oh, Cairo
But
gets
gonna be
caught over the
found
wall.
here.
Yeah, big
Nice.
pick actually for E7. His whole green man spots him over the wall thanks to that ward from You Love Me. Gets a little help from his Zillion, and now the dragon should go to E7. Mason's going to say something about that, though. The teleport coming
Yeah.
in, they'll take the dragon, but is Mason going to find the engage? They're trying to back off into this little corridor. That's a little dangerous against the Aatrox. They get one knock up, they get two. The chrono break is, or the chrono shift, excuse me, is used. They take down the Pantheon, they'll take down the Vygar. So 2 kills for ROTM so far. Heimerdoodle's looking for a little bit more. Hits the spears, the dash forward. Another dash forward, takes down Hot Envy. Knockups landing, whole green man. Mason is now just tanking up tower, and he'll get popped by the World Ender. Mason picks up that kill, and 4 go to ROTM.
Yeah, Mason playing so well on this Aatrox pick. TP's in, says, you may get a Drake, but I'm going to take your life at the end of it, and finds a lot of kills there as E7 funnels in. Really nice punish there from RTM to make sure that E7 does not get away cleanly with that Drake.
Well, there go the objective bounties. 6,000 gold lead. They'll pick up Sheila for free. This is fine. I don't hate that.
Uncontested objective, might as well take it while you can. Probably give it to Mason, let him try to push. It looks like Doodles is the one that picks it up, but I feel like Aatrox in that side lane with that, it's just you have to answer it, and he can probably 2v1 if not 3v1 at this point in the game. So on that Death Stance on that Gore Drinker is really, really strong.
Yep, and now Heimer and Alpals both 7 stacks on their Dark Seals. That feels pretty good. Ooh, Stopwatch finished up, or Zanya's Hourglass, excuse me, for Heimer Doodles is a nice item purchase. So
yeah, gives him more dive capabilities, especially if you're teaming up with Aatrox.
Cairo Hooker may be caught here. Hot
but...
Envy trying to make something happen with You Love Me. Flash away though from the Seraphine keeps him safe. Gonna share a little damage with Loker, but gets healed back up immediately with the W. And now Heimerdoodle's hanging around. E7 trying to force anything mid. We haven't seen the Pantheon ult at all. No
Nope, not
real
once.
attempt to force here from Stand Eternal, which
Yeah.
it's hard when you're behind to find those opportunities, but feels like that's missing. Loker engages that fight and probably wishes he didn't, but now in comes Mason to try to bail him out. There's the Pantheon ult finally coming in. He's looking for the dive onto Cairo. Mason, though, has the front line, the big third Q. Alpal's around the side, not quite able to find that. Heimerdoodle's on the flank, just trying to rip through. Mason gonna get stunned up. It's a great cage from Lexar to try to disengage. Spear lands from Heimerdoodles. He's feeling it. He walks in, gets the damage down onto Hot Envy. Mason doesn't have World Ender up. The damage through just isn't there from ROTM. So just the 0 for 1. They lose Loker, but they're still continuing with the push.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and drop the Rift Herald here while E7 is resetting. So that should mean this tower, and I doubt that they go for the next tower, but they'll probably try to get it shoved in here and let it at least hit this tower for the damage.
Yeah, in comes
Seraphine
Sheila.
healing quite a bit, though.
Yeah, the Seraphine healing is pretty good. That tower is very low. It's not quite going to fall. Mason has the E able to stance out over the wall. Whole Green Man is still looking for him. They really want this shutdown. It's an 850 gold kill if they can find it, but just not there, it looks like, for E7. They have a lot of speed boosts, a lot of engage, but they just can't track down any of these kills, and ROTM still maintaining their health. The Seraphine actually coming in pretty clutch during these situations to heal him back up. They'll eventually get that tower in mid lane. Oh, that spear!
Yeah.
The spear
Doing
laser combo over the wall onto Lexar. He wasn't really expecting both of those at the same time, I think, and now down to about a quarter health.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting here to see what E7, where they try to pick fights. I think ideally you're trying to find fights that Mason isn't in, but has just been kind of all over the map since being unleashed in top lane.
Yeah, they took down his tower, and then Mason has been moving his gold around the map really nicely. That's what you want to see from your fed top laner, is making sure that the rest of the team can get involved, because usually those champions, well, sometimes they can solo carry. It's a little bit harder as the top laner, I think, than some of the other roles.
Yeah, and I think especially with the Nidalee pick, our team really needed a strong early lead to be transitioned into the mid game. So glad to see that they're able to execute that here so far. Of course, still some scaling to come through for E7 with the Zillion and with the Vigar. So maybe they can utilize that. A lot of squishy targets for Vigar to pick off, but they are on a timer for sure.
Yep, Vigard 120 stacks on his passive, 120 bonus ability power, which is fine for this stage of the game. Not exceptional, not particularly terrible either. RTM going to start up this Dragon, Loker, Cairo, and Alpals all here. They don't have Heimerdoodles, notably. He's walking his way through the jungle, and Mason just guarding mid lane, making sure that they keep that mid prio, keep that mid tower alive. Now Heimerdoodles is there to finish off the dragon, flash away from Hot Envy, means that he can't really contest. ROTM grabs that objective. They might lose this top tower, but they'll probably take that trade. What are they looking for now? Mason looking to scrap with Whole Grain Man.
Just does half the health bar and walks away, casually. But that is going to be an objective bounty going over, so at least they're not trading that dragon for nothing. Able to get that tower for themselves, get some bonus objective gold, and that's not too bad at all. 250 extra gold in the pocket of E7, almost a full kill's worth.
It's 250 split amongst the team, but yeah. Point notwithstanding. That always feels like just a laughable amount of gold. You get that. Like, oh yeah, I got 50 gold. Great. Loker probably wishes he had 50 gold. I don't know what that segue was. He's pretty dead though. They use a lot of their engage. They pick off Cairo as well. Teleport is coming in though from Mason. He's right in their face. Now kiting back out, almost able to take down You Love Me. That third Q not quite able to land. He's just frontlining, gets the heal from the Gore Drinker. Now has to flash away.
Wow.
But a lot of damage coming through from Heimerdoodles. They'll knock him into the Chrono Shift. Whole Grain Man looking for the re-engage, able to take down the Nidalee. Alpal's doing a little bit of damage here with the laser, just tickling on through. And again, everybody with just 100 to 200 health, it's really difficult to not get any of these kills, but somehow E7 able to navigate that fight. They'll get 3 for 0, and they'll be able to hold serve on their base.
Yeah, it was surprising how much, again, Mason was able to tank up in damage there, but really stuck in a hard spot there with the TPing in. TP's in a little bit late, and by that time, Loker and Cairo already going down. They do get the kill onto Nidalee, E7 does, and that also is going to knock off all of those Soul Stealer stacks from the Nidalee. So actually a really, really big kill if you factor in the shutdown in that.
Yeah, get the extra gold value on the shutdown. Mason just walks up and stabs the crab. Oof.
Yep. Does not care. It is his crab, so. Yeah, Aatrox's going to be up here on the top side. Maybe look to get some chip damage on this inner tower. But some vision battles already starting here for the Baron.
Yeah. E7 going to go ahead and grab this mid lane tower, so they get the extra objective, actually, at the end of the play. So gold lead shrinks back to about 4,000 gold, 4,500.
Yep.
Somewhere
Notably, no objective bounties anymore for E7, so have closed that gap a little bit, but a nice
Loker.
pick here from Whole Grain Man. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, feels like every time we're here, we just see Loker get picked off, and I don't know if that's the team not setting up vision around him. He's, a little overextended, or maybe it's just Whole Grain Man doing really well finding these picks. That's a huge spear onto You Love Me. That doesn't suck, but they can't go through the cage, so another tower going down here in the mid lane, and E7 have a lot of the momentum now. Snare not going to land, no charm coming through. The Victor not quite in position either for Alpals, and again, another pick, another tower, and another chip into the gold lead.
Yeah, Whole Grain Man really being the one bright spot for E7 here, has played really, really well all game. Has had really good burst picks with the ultimate and being able to dash in. Knows the damage really well and is able to find really good spots. RTM with the
Oh,
I think worst comp is going to be a little bit rough of a spot here if they don't find a way to end this game here in the next 10 minutes. But um,
pause, but then they immediately were going to resume. So not even
cool.
going to jump to the screen. We're going to get that stupid, annoying little break, though, here in a second, I imagine. Stand Eternal might also get a stupid little annoying break as he gets caught by the whole team of ROTM. Golden Aegis keeping him
Nope.
alive. The Seraphine ult not quite going to land. That's actually a really good escape for the Pantheon. And
Yeah.
there's the pause.
Able to get away there just barely. Does have to flash away, but not going to be too sad about that. Notably, this Pantheon has not been able to do really much ever since the huge lead that Mason has got. Had really only seen one ult from him, as we talked about earlier. So
Yeah,
just kind of waiting to get as much gold as he can safely, and maybe we'll see him resume playing here in the later stages of the game.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go on this dragon. ROTM already set up pretty nicely for it. Mason doesn't have teleport, but he should be able to walk there in time. Alpals does, but he's grouped up. And another pause. All right. Yeah. We vibe in here. This one looks like it might last a little bit longer. Flip up the pause screen. Apparently another fire alarm. I don't think maybe it is a fire alarm. Benefit of the doubt, right? But maybe it's Karsuda spilling his beans every single time a pause happens. At some point, it's not true, right?
Yeah, I mean, you hope that it's not that, but
Sponsorships open for Baron and Dragon? Yeah, sure. Do you want a sponsorship? The Just Too Tactical Baron Power Play? Yeah, sure. What's your price? For sure.
yeah, I want to hear the pitch.
Although I think that's the opposite of how it's supposed to happen. I
No,
think
no, no,
I'm
no.
supposed
He
to have
came
the
to
price.
us.
He
No,
did
he
come
he
to
came to
us.
us. Yeah.
Oh, he's the sub. Okay,
Okay. All right.
one sub.
One sub.
Well, thank you for the sub. Just Too Tactical. We'll at least have a Baron Power Play for you.
Yeah, we can get one sponsored Baron Power Play for the one sub. He knows how to drive a bargain, that's for sure.
Sorry, my dog decided to be a little furry asshole and got himself stuck underneath his mother's chair. So when rescued him, actually call it the Tyrant's Baron Power Play. We can probably make that work. Did I lose lane?
I am here.
Okay. Did we get an update in here? I didn't see one. Nope, he's still on fire. That's pretty unlucky.
Yep. We are at the whims of the fire in Hammerdoodle's house.
Oh, now I'm getting a full ad read for this. That's a rough one. The last time I had an ad read was during when we were casting FPL, and the ad was just terrible. Like it was very poorly grammatically written and like misspelled. So
Oh,
like
really?
the first time I read through it, I was just like,
What was it for? I'm so curious. What was
they got
sponsoring FPL?
they had Challenge, the like tournament
Oh,
company,
yeah.
got
Mm-hmm.
like sponsored one of their Sonic Riders tournaments. So they wanted me to
Interesting.
do a read for it, but um Yeah, the one that he typed up was just like, oh, I can't. I need to like fix this in my head, and I'm not sure that that's like theoretically when you get an ad read, you're supposed to read the script. Like that's what
Right.
the ad person wants you to do. And I read it and I was just like, this doesn't work. Can I can I change the grammar and the spelling, please?
Yeah, and improv the ad read. Well, we are back into the game here.
Yep.
Um,
Apparently, no one's on fire permanently, so that's good.
and I think that is the final pause for our TM to be able to use this game. So hopefully nothing else poorly happens there. But this dragon fight starting out here,
Yeah.
E7 is niche their way in here.
Yeah, E7 has really forced their way in. They've got control of the Scuttle Crab, and you can see the meteor about to fall near Heimerdoodles. Oh, had already previously fallen. That was the after particle effects. Luckily, they don't have to deal with the pause, just us. Otherwise, this would get pretty
Yeah,
confusing.
we wait with bated breath around this dragon while we see them positioning infinitely.
That would be a real spectator bug. Anyway, all of our team has grouped up on the top side now. No more split, no more nonsense. Another spear going to land. Hot Envy just catching him for his team. That's really what you want to see in ARAMs as well. You really need your tank to step up and catch some of those spears for you. Mason, notably just walking directly into the front, so it's hard to find a flank there. Dragon going to get started up, do a little bit of damage. Look at the heal up. They have the Nidalee and Seraphine healing, so if this does, just evolve into a 5v5 ARAM around this Baron, RTM should be in the better... My god, I have the hiccups now. Should be in a better position for that. Loker's going to go ahead and catch that mid wave, which is going to be the target for E7 to go ahead and start on the Baron. In comes Mason with the World Ender. They get the Seraphine ult through. It only lands onto a Stand Eternal, but now the Stormbringer into the backline with the Moonfall. Does a lot of damage, but not quite enough to finish anyone off. Alpal's just trying to kite back. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, Mason able to stall out. He doesn't pick up a single kill, but able to keep the attention of the rest of the team. Heimerdoodles with a good smite on the Baron. Now the flank from Loker finds Lexar. Does he have the damage to actually do it? He's got the cleanse. He gets the kill.
Yeah,
so
very well played there. I'm not sure if you're behind.
Oh shit! I'll plus speed to. I'm like 1 second behind.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. But anyway, really nice there for RTM. Actually, the Seraphine healing did so much there. Alpal's almost going down in that engage from the Diana and the Volibear, but was able to get healed back up almost to half health from basically nothing. And notably, Pantheon was able to pick up the huge shutdown onto Mason, but outside of that, not much else to report for E7.
Yeah, Mason able to respawn, comes back in with the teleport, now getting engaged on, trying to tank up with the World Ender, gets the shields from his Hex-Drinker. That's kind of nasty. Gets the knockups as well, now gets stuck in the cage. A lot of damage coming through. Loker's still staying alive, getting enough damage to pump back into Lexar to make sure he backs off, and Cairo, well, Jesus, back to half?
Is crazy. That is so much healing.
Alright, Seraphine isn't okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Baron goes over, and does anyone here play the hit Korean MMO Black Desert Online and is looking for a guild? Well, Tyrants is the guild for you. This is the Tyrants Baron power play, and Loker going to try to end the game with it as he walks on forward. He gets it! The damage from the poison!
Outlasted the ult. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Really unlucky there for You Love Me.
I love everybody just grouping up to avoid the meteor there. Alpal's walking forward, gets hit by the Everfrost. ROTM looking to end the game right now, though, working their way onto the Nexus towers. And come the Crescent Strike just to try to clear out the minions, but they're keeping the cannon minion alive. Alpal's just escapes the baby cage there. And we're chilling. This isn't as hype as I had hoped. This isn't the big climactic moment, but it might be coming here in a second. Hot Envy trying to clear out these minions, and now with the super minion wailing away on this turret, it's fight or die time right now for E7. In comes Whole Grain Man. He misses everything with that Moonfall, Heimerdoodle's gonna be taken down. No, he's not. He actually stays alive with the flash. Mason just able to tank up. He'll pull back in hot Envy. They'll finish another one off. Lexar trying to kite his way back out, get anything that he can back, but Mason shuts him down. And the Nexus will fall for game number 2. Will they pick up any extra kills? It doesn't look like it. Mason just flirting with the fountain laser for a second, but ROTM picks up the 2-0 win.
Yeah. And that game was won by Mason. Played so well in the top side there, and then late game, Seraphine was able to keep RTM alive for so long in those fights, and kind of made the difference in the dive burst comp that E7 drafted for themselves. Really well played game there from our turn of the Middlesticks, and kind of getting a statement win here after not so great week 1. So nice to see that they picked that up for themselves.
Yeah. Thanks for Amasaur for the sub. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching here this week. It's a 2-0 for ROTM Darkwind, able to recover after a rough week 1, and this time the fights fell their way. And sometimes that's how you have to do it. Game number 2 is the Mason show, though. Really impressive performance on the Aatrox, as you've already called out. The Seraphine really helped lock down the rest of the composition, and yeah, take home the 2-0 over E7, improve to 1-1. Feel pretty good about that one. So we'll we're off till tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we've got the Golden Mega Cast. I've got Scattercat with me tomorrow night, so that should be some good memes. Um, yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow night, hopefully. Go watch Aegis, I guess. Some team called TCN is playing some team called PGC. Go watch that.
Thanks, guys.
Oh shit, this is like my favorite Champion Select music. I randomly found it. Okay. I'm saving that. Oh, there's not an extended version. Oh. Alright, go raid. Bye.